Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now February 23rd of 2024, and as we get closer to the middle of this year, month by month, we know that Bob Iger is pretty much in a very desperate race to save the Disney company, which in my opinion, guys, there is no saving. There really has been too much damage done to all divisions over at Disney. That counts for Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, Walt Disney Animation Studios, and among other divisions out there that are just endlessly going into a downward spiral. Now, when we look at all the drama surrounding X-Men 97, there are varying opinions based on what people think about the whole non-binary aspect being included and attached to the character of Morph that was shoehorned in there by Bob Iger, by showrunner Bo DeMeo, and how they plan to do this with other characters as well, not just for Season 1, but also a Season 2 that is already in serious discussions right now behind the scenes, as well as other animated series that were considered classics from the 1990s to pretty much receive follow-up shows on the Disney Plus platform as well. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, one aspect about Bob Iger that I always like to point out is that he is a liar. This man just lies his way through to not just what he calls the customers, but to the shareholders. I mean, we all saw that leaked video where he literally makes it openly clear that he supports the agenda, while just a couple of months ago, he said that he's all about quieting down the noise, and that was a lie too. So Bob Iger, I keep saying this, he will say whatever he has to say to get the shareholders to stick around for the following year to witness what kind of projects are looming in hopes that they will succeed, that will change their mind. So, moving on forward, everything happening with X-Men 97 seems to be making a deep impact on Bob Iger, with Bob Iger already heading into endless damage control with X-Men 97 behind the scenes. One major development has much to do with Iger's response to the ongoing backlash related to X-Men 97, as Disney desperately attempts to keep the series on track. As CEO, he goes on to say, "It is with my pleasure to address with what we have planned for the future of animated content for our Disney Plus platform and business model. For all of our brands like Star Wars, Marvel, and more, with the case for our upcoming hit series, X-Men 97, it is in our best interest to gravitate toward both old and, more importantly, new fans for our new series to fit with the modern world, and we hope to apply more examples of that with an expansion of the series that we have been discussing endlessly. Here at the Disney Company, we believe it is truly irresponsible and unfair for individuals to convince others to withdraw from a product that Marvel Studios Animation has done such a wonderful job with. Our decision to add new backgrounds to certain characters was a choice that was made after a very balanced discussion we had with Mr. Feige and our showrunner Bo DeMeo, who did an absolutely amazing job inserting new backgrounds and meaning to some of our core characters that we hope to expand beyond this season. I cannot repeat this enough, but we here at the Disney Company do not support or engage in any kind of a culture war, nor do we support agenda-driven strategies to our products. Our insertion of DEI is not to be confused with an agenda, and it is in our best interest to apply new elements of DEI into the popular X-Men series with X-Men 97. Our decision to make some characters non-binary, and among others, was something we felt was absolutely necessary to add new backgrounds to characters so that our characters can relate to a wider range of our customers, so that we can reach a more global audience on the Disney Plus business model. We are already involved in important conversations with Marvel Studios Animation on how we hope to continue with our usage of adding in new backgrounds to popular and familiar characters, and to our small minority of customers that seem to have an issue with that or are against our push to fit with the modern world when it comes to our entertainment should properly research what these new terms mean by definition and how they accurately apply to the characters represented in our upcoming projects such as X-Men 97. So guys, let me stop here before I move on. Now, this just goes to show you that Bob Iger is a lunatic. He has no idea what he's talking about. Notice how he, in the beginning, really made it openly clear and vivid that it's more important to gravitate toward new fans that fit with the modern world. Alright, more importantly, specifically, he pointed out there. And that just goes to show you an agenda right then and there alone. Now, we talked about this a couple of days ago, guys, that X-Men 97 Season 1, the agendas are going to be more vague, quote-unquote, so to speak, where it's going to be shoehorned in there in terms of the showrunner Bo DeMeo making quotes and statements, or some of the voice actors talking about what changes were applied for the backgrounds of characters. But what Bob Iger and Bo DeMeo, and along with Kevin Feige, want to do with the Season 2, and this has been going on behind closed doors, and what's been going on over at Marvel Studios and Marvel Animation, is that they want to make it very direct through lines of dialogue for X-Men 97 Season 2, and really making it very much upfront and personal to the audience. That's what they want to do. And that goes to show you that they kind of sort of want to do a bait and switch, where 97 Season 1 may not be as agenda-driven as you would think, per se, but then Season 2, it's going to be like upside down, where it gets all ridiculous. So, again, this whole nonsense of applying these things like how morph is non-binary is just unnecessary. I like to point this out many times. Non-binary did not exist in the 1990s. I repeat, non-binary did not exist in the 1990s. There's no reason to do this at all, let alone applying it to a character like Morph. And I get it, some people are like, well, you know, Morph is Morph, it makes sense. Well, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense, because that kind of a thing did not exist way back when. And there's really no reason to do this, let's be honest here. But moving on forward, he goes on to conclude, alright, we hope that this is just the beginning with Marvel Animation Studios so that we can effectively cater to both loyal fans of the classic animated series as well as discovering avenues to gravitate these shows to those that have felt alienated from our products. We have to give a full thank you to Bo DeMeo for properly establishing this in a balanced manner that we believe was fairly done for Season 1, and that customers who have issues with this we feel are blown out of proportion. Okay, so basically he's calling the Backlash something that is blown out of proportion, something that is being over-exaggerated, or an overreaction, so to speak. Whether you agree or disagree with that is fine by me. I would like to hear your opinion on that below. But Bob Iger, there's no doubt about it that they want to shoehorn any level of an agenda, whether it's vague, whether it's very direct, it doesn't matter. They want to make it spill its way through into anything that they create. This goes for X-Men 97, this goes for Deadpool 3, we talked about this, about how they are still on track to shoehorn their nonsense into the upcoming reshoots for Deadpool 3 that are planned and mapped out to begin by late March, bleeding into April, just a couple of months before the debut of the film in July. And that's exactly why Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, Sean Levy, the director, have been fighting against that, with a lot of wins and losses in the process, by the way. So good on them. But overall, guys, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.